now is a incredible time in which to be alive. And to have this thing called social media, the internet, has changed the game.
Picturing what you want in advance can help you achieve that end result if you see it in your mind, feel it in your heart, and then take the action to make it happen.
In your market, you've got to go out confident, because they don't want someone who is weak. And if that means faking that confidence, well, that's what you're going to have to do.
Well, I like what you're saying to me. You're hitting home.
Thank you so much. I appreciate this entire call. I definitely got some ideas.
I'm going down my mental checklist of everything that I did that made me successful. And you guys are hitting all of it.
This is your time.
I came to New York City in 1974 to get into the acting profession. Went to acting school up in Harlem for about a year and a half, 2 years. Wasn't having any success at all. My girlfriend took a class that showed you how to use creative visualization to manifest your success. I took the class. I started visualizing getting an agent. I did not have an agent at that time. After visualizing an agent for about maybe, I'd say about a month or 3 weeks, I met an agent at a lecture at a coffee break in New York City on Fifth Avenue. I didn't know he was an agent. The woman I was talking to said, Tony, one of the biggest TV commercial agents in the city is here tonight. His name was Mort Schwartz. So I introduced myself to him. And he said, I don't know what I can do for you, but come up to my office on Thursday, bring your picture and resume, and if I get a call for your type, I'll call you. Went to his office. We had a quick 5-minute meeting. I thought he was just doing that to be courteous, but I kept visualizing. And then about a week and a half, 2 weeks later, one morning, his secretary, Margaret, called and said, Tony, we just got an audition come in from Anheuser-Busch. They want to do a national TV commercial for Budweiser beer. Do you want to go down to audition for it? I said, yeah, because once you get a commercial on the air, it pays you every 2 weeks as if you have a 9-to-5 job. So I went down to the audition, walked into the holding area where the other actors were waiting. There must have been about 20 actors there, all with more experience, all with greater time in the industry. I sat down in my seat, went to my, what I call the alpha brainwave level, which is a certain level of mind that you can get into your subconscious level of awareness. And I started visualizing myself doing a good job at the audition. So I went in, did the audition. The director, Peter Israel, told me what to do, did what he said. He said, okay, thank you for coming. If we're interested, we'll call you. Left, feeling really good about it. And I was feeling so good that I said, they gotta call me the next day to tell me I got this job. Next day comes and goes, no call. I said, well, maybe they're having trouble making a decision because it was me and another guy. And I said, they gotta call the next day. Second day comes and goes, no call. I said, well, even if nothing doesn't happen, at least I'm moving in the direction of my goal, which is to get a big paying national commercial on TV. Third day comes and goes, no call. So I said, well, I don't care. I'm gonna keep on visualizing until I get what I want, because I met the casting agent by chance, by coincidence. So I'm gonna keep on visualizing myself getting a job. The fourth day at about 4:30, 5 o'clock, Margaret, the Mort Schwartz's secretary, calls and says, Tony, congratulations, you got the Budweiser job. That job ran, that commercial ran on the Super Bowl of 1976 and paid thousands of dollars over the course of the year. So that convinced me that You can create anything you want by using the power of your mind, but you must know how to use it correctly to generate the results you want.
This is going to be good. I'm Kerry Ruff, and I am a communication social strategist. And I help individuals and small businesses communicate more effectively with their service and their products on the internet and social media. And this morning, we have two guests who I'm thrilled to have in our midst on this Zoom meeting. And the first one is an entrepreneur. He's written many books, and his most popular book, I think, is You Can Still Win. And that's on Amazon, so forth and so on. But he's been speaking for years about entrepreneurship. And his name is Mr. Andre Taylor. And Andre, first question to you is, in the disciplines of entrepreneurship regarding startups and small businesses, what are 3 things that we can do to continue our cash flow?
Issues. I've had businesses that have generated millions of dollars, and I've had businesses that have really struggled. And it all came down to one thing. What are you doing on a given day to satisfy a client's needs? And sometimes it might mean that you sell something that isn't quite perfect, in terms of textbook, that isn't quite right, but you need to get that sale, and you need to figure out a way to grow your business in increments. The most important thing is, number one, is you have to be very client focused. Number 2 is you must have a message that appeals to that client, that makes them want to respond to you. And I would say that number 3 might be making sure that you're in pursuit of clients, that you're really focused on the right audience, that you're not trying to sell a Rolls Royce to somebody who would be better suited to buy a Toyota.
Tony, you have a question for Andre?
Yeah. Andre, based upon your wide range of business success over the years, what do you think are the 3 top qualities that an entrepreneur must have in this particular economic environment?
Say you have to be very pragmatic about what entrepreneurship is. So that kind of ties to what I just said. When I get up in the morning, the first thing I do is I'm looking at my numbers from the prior day. How many people have come to my website? How many sales did we have? How many visitors? How many people clicked on a link? How many, I'm looking at my bank account. You got to be very pragmatic, number 1. So you have to get up and realize that this is every day you have the capacity to grow it, but you have to be realistic about where you are that morning. Okay, not enough money in the bank. Okay, no one went to that website. Okay, no one bought a product. Okay, got to do something else today. Got to do a little more about what I got to refine what I'm doing. The second thing is having a very, very clear. Actually, there are several other things I could mention, but I would say a very, very clear offer that you can present to your marketplace. So having the ability, as you said, Tony, a few moments ago, I teach a class that teaches XYZ. You didn't quite go into when it meets and how much it costs and all that, but you are about to go into an offer. Here's what I have. Mm-hmm. And a lot of people can't say what it is they offer. They can say that they're doing this, that, or the other, but they can't turn that into something that someone can say yes to. So that's the second thing, is getting someone to say yes to it. And then the third thing is, I would say, the first is pragmatism, the second is having a clear offer, and the third is having just a willingness to get up again and to take action to present that to the marketplace and ask for the order. I think you have to be able to do those three things consistently.
Okay. Thank you, Andre. Thanks again. Tony, will you introduce yourself and a little bit about what you do best?
My name is Tony Mitchell. I'm a professional on helping people achieve what they want. I do personal coaching. I teach people how to use the power of their mind through the law of attraction to create what they want by going to the subconscious level of mind and reprogramming your mind to be able to attract what you want as you take action to make it happen. Now, when I first came to New York City, I came to get into the acting profession. And I had very little success until I took a course that teaches you how to focus your mind at the subconscious level and to set the goals that you want to create. And then once doing that, you find that you are in what is called the law of attraction, which creates what you want as you take action to make it happen. So the basic thing that I'd like to do today is give people a tool to be able to program and to reprogram their deeper subconscious mind so that success comes to you more easily. I teach now a course which teaches you how to get to a specific state of mental awareness, the subconscious mind, which you can then visualize your goals, and by doing that, create exactly what you want. So I'm here to tell you, anything you want to be, do, and have, you can do that once you harness the power of your subconscious mind in the way of visualization, affirmations, law of attraction, and positive, massive action to go to forth what you want. I'm so glad to have this opportunity today to speak to you. And one of the challenges that most people have that I've seen over the past 25 years is that they'll get some good ideas, they'll think they're really good, but they won't act on them. So the challenge that everybody has today is to take an idea or two or three that you really feel good about, that really resonates with you, and to begin to act immediately to put that idea into action in your life so that you can achieve exactly what you want. Write down the goal you want to achieve as if you've already achieved it. Write it down on a piece of paper and write it down and visualize it in your mind. Close your eyes, relax your body, relax your mind, visualize that goal being achieved every night before you go to bed, because as you sleep at night, your subconscious mind makes connections with the ideas, the people, and the circumstances that will attract to you and attract you to what you want. When I got that job, my image in my mind was watching a television and seeing my face on the TV screen. I did that every night before I went to sleep. So I think I pick a simple picture that you can see yourself in achieving the end result you want. And as you cultivate that, your subconscious mind will guide you to take the actions necessary to bring that about. And at the same time, you'll be able to attract people into your life that will bring that about, just like that agent that I met by chance. But when you start using your mind consciously, you create coincidences of ideas coming to you, people coming to you, circumstances arranging themselves so that you can create exactly what you want in the most powerful way and the quickest way possible.
What do you say to someone who's a little cynical about what you've described?
I would say if they're cynical and they don't believe in the power to create their reality, take about 3 or 4 days and focus on the negative things that come into your life. Focus on being depressed, upset, angry, discouraged, and see if that produces any results. Now, here's the thing to do. We don't necessarily get what we want. We get what we subconsciously believe. So everybody on the call wants a certain end result, but chances are you have certain beliefs that are active at the subconscious level that you may not even be conscious about. And we may have picked those up from friends, family members when we were between from 4 to 5 years of age. And those things may be still in our minds. For instance, a belief I had as an actor was money is hard to come by. Through meditation and mindfulness, I remembered where I picked up that belief as a child with watching my father spend money and how tight he was with money and how often he didn't have enough money. So I picked that up from my father. Money is hard, money is a struggle, life is hard. I uncovered that belief. I changed it from money is hard to create to thousands of dollars are flowing into my life in easy, wonderful ways. And when I would do my meditation and mindfulness, I focus on money, large amounts of money, thousands of dollars are flowing into my life in easy, wonderful ways. And one of the first jobs that I got as I started doing that was a payment for, I did a computer associate's job, and they paid foreign residuals, which amounted to a check of $6,000. And that was just one check over the course of 12 months. But it's scientific because we can measure your brainwave cycling on an EEG machine and take you from an outer state of mind to the subconscious mind. And that's what I teach, how to get into the subconscious to program and reprogram your mind so that whatever you're going for, you have 100% of yourself going for that rather than just maybe 5 or 10%. Because one thing that a lot of people, 90% of the people don't realize is that everybody has negative limiting beliefs in our mind that could sabotage, neutralize, or hold us back from the success that we want. And I teach how to overcome those things to create the result that you want pretty easily and pretty quickly.
Anybody have any questions?
My biggest obstacle now is time, of course, and myself.
Find a comfortable chair, sit down, close your eyes, count down from 10 to 1. Tell yourself that by the time I reach the count of 1, my conscious and subconscious minds will have adjusted to the perfect level to get the greatest rest from this 5-minute exercise. Relax your body from the top of your head to the scalp, forehead, eyes, eyelids, neck, chest, shoulders, arms, hands, thighs, calves, knees, ankles, feet, all the way down. Take 5 minutes. Don't go that fast, but you'll find that at the end of that 5 minutes, you will have energized yourself and you'll feel like you just had a 30 to a 1 hour nap, a 30-minute to a 1 hour nap. That's the process of programming your mind to avoid stress and anxiety, to be able to relax and to energize your body and mind to go another 2 or 3 hours or 4 hours of work. And the more you do this, the longer that energy will last. You get to the point where you can take 15 minutes and get the benefits of a 2-hour nap or a 1-hour nap in your physical body.
I'm stuck about social media because I'm a life coach, actually spiritual, motivational life coach. But the problem is my background professionally kind of conflicts because I'm a community leader, well known in my community. I even ran the community board 3 times, reelected. I opened a school recently, on a lot of boards, even for a hospital, a school, community organization. So people see me in that light. To come out now as a life coach, a spiritual motivational coach, is a little stepping to the left.
My suggestion here is the same as everyone else. Everybody needs an offer. So everybody, no matter what you do, you've got to be able to package it in a way that someone can understand that. And it doesn't matter if you're known in politics or known as something else. We've got celebrities who are known as singers and they write cookbooks. or people who are known in one area, they write books about parenting.
Right.
You are multidimensional. So what you need really is you need a book probably. And my suggestion to you is not a lengthy 200-page book. What I'm suggesting is maybe a 10-page ebook that will position you properly. And you need to package your spiritual side, your life coaching side, with 5 tips to balance your life, 7 ways to, enlarge your scope, whatever it is. You need to come up with a packaging of that. And in that ebook, it has to position you as who you are professionally. Everyone knows you're in politics, you're a leader in the community, but you also have these insights. And people will accept that if it's packaged correctly. If it seems like it's completely different and you're suddenly something that they don't see you as, then it's a challenge. But you just need some craft in your offer. And you can get someone to write this ebook for you, maybe even the person who was on earlier, and you could have a phone call with her every week. Talk about your life, talk about your tips, talk about what you've done. Get someone to write this thing, package it, and then you've got an offer that packages you, present it online as either something as a tool that people could get free, and then you're building a mailing list, or as an inexpensive ebook that people can then use to build a coaching relationship with you. And then you're off. But you need an offer. You need an offer that you can package.
I like that idea. People have asked me to write a book, and I just like, where do I start? So I like what you're saying to me. You're hitting home.
Podcast. I know in my mind what it is, it has to be done, but then I have to promote. And it's like, I feel like I'm juggling too many components at once. And sometimes I do feel somewhat overwhelmed.
Well, you don't have to be on every platform.
True. I'm willing to do 3 or 4.
You don't have to have a podcast, a newsletter, a YouTube channel, a Pinterest. You don't have to do it all.
Okay.
You can choose to do a specific thing. There are people making money who are not on all those platforms. Okay. Just as a newsflash here. Okay. Also, keep this in mind.
Okay.
Some people should really just be running ads somewhere. Paying for visibility for their particular service.
Yeah, I like that.
So that somebody can raise their hand and say, hey, I want this. And that's the fastest way for you to really generate visibility.
I just have a quick question for Tony.
Yeah.
Hi, Tony.
Hi there.
My reason for being here is similar to, I believe his name was Phillips. I'd like to create more hours in a day where I can be more productive without exhausting myself. You had suggested the 5-minute, what I'll call ritual before bedtime, which I like.
Yeah.
Would you recommend doing that more than once throughout the day to see if you can create even more time? And if so, what time of day would you recommend carving out another 5 minutes or so?
I recommended before bed because I didn't want to overwhelm people, but actually, to your question, ideally you want to do it last thing before you go to sleep and first thing in the morning. The morning is important because what your mind focuses in the morning will set up your whole day. And if you visualize, let's say, getting up on Monday morning, going to your meditational state for 5 or 10 minutes, seeing yourself accomplishing everything you need to do by the end of the day and having extra time left over, if you can visualize that in your mind, feel it in your body, and see yourself in that scene, then in time, give it about 3 days, your life will begin to arrange itself in having more time with less effort and greater relaxation and less stress. And you'll look back on it and say, well, I did this for 3 days, 5 minutes in the morning, 5 minutes at night. And then what you do, you'll find it's going so beautifully that you decide to do it maybe for 10 minutes in the morning, 10 minutes at night. and maybe 5 in the afternoon before lunch or after lunch. But once you do that process, once you get into the habit of focusing your mind on what you want, you'll be assured of getting the relaxation you want and the time you want. And you'll find that you look back on it and say, wow, I wish I had known this earlier, like a year or two ago.
Okay. I think what I struggle with is I'm one that doesn't like to make a move if it's not perfect. And a lot of people tell me, well, sometimes you just have to go and see what happens. But, you know, I like things to be pretty and perfect and nice and neat.
I'm sorry I'm going to keep interrupting you because it's never perfect.
Right.
It will never be perfect. And so that's what's cool about, you can tell, social media. It doesn't have to be perfect. And please don't get hung up on, I have to be perfect, and or you don't have the time or you did not make the time.
Make the time.
And that's okay if you didn't make the time, but that's okay. But that's on you. You didn't make the 15 minutes, the 30 minutes. You didn't schedule it.
Right.
And then you can say, because I have my child. So there's going to be excuses.
Right.
I say, well, okay, Carol, you made that excuse. Then go ahead. And
what's most important in terms of being an entrepreneur is really not your passion. It is not the trend. It is not, any of those. Is working hard. It's getting a client. It's having a client.
Also asking for the service, asking for the business. So, you know, that hit key, because as a radio personality, I don't think I put it out there that I can do commercials and advertisements and voiceovers and promos. And that touched me, because I can be asking for that, and that's okay. So yeah. So I appreciate this. Thank you.
Some of my best ideas and most profitable opportunities have come from looking at what I talk about, think about naturally, and have ignored. And so I would suggest that you get a sheet of paper, put it in your house, apartment, room, wherever you are, carry it around with you, and listen to yourself. Kerry mentioned to me that, mentioned when he first started, that my most popular book is called You Can Still Win. And that title came from listening to myself, counseling others, coaching them, encouraging them. And they would tell me about the various obstacles they were dealing with and the various hurdles. And I would say, well, yeah, but you can still win. And I kept saying that over and over and over again. And then I realized that's the title to my book. And so I could give you that. I gave you that example. I could give you many others in terms of identifying what you should move forward with. It is often something so close to you that you don't value it, that you don't think it's that significant, but it can mean the world to someone else.
yes.
So I would just give you that one recommendation.
Great, thank you.
It's best time to be alive. And it's easy now, very easy, because of social media and the internet, for you to get your ideas out and learn new ideas and implement new ideas now because of the internet and social media. So, all right, everyone. I thank you so very, very much. We're going to have these. Oh, thank you, Ms. Van Putten, for the applause sign. I see.
My student showed me how to do it.
Your student showed you how to do it? Good, good. And I thank everybody for being here, those on Facebook and those calling in. Thank you so very, very much. Thank you all very, very much.
Thank you.
Very, very much.
Thank you, Carrie. Thank you, Carrie. Thank you.
All right, thank you, everyone.
Okay, thank you.
Great to see you.
Bye there. Take care. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.